Welcome. I'm Sebastian Mahfoud, and you're listening to WCAT Radio, the on-air wing of En Route Books and Media, bringing you the dulcet sounds of Catholic wisdom.
Hi dear listeners, welcome to this episode number 12 of our radio program Discovering Sacred Christian Art. Here is Dr. Michela Ferri. I'm speaking from Italy, from my house between Milan and Bergamo in North Italy in the region of Lombardy. In this episode, we will speak about early Christian art, and today we will focus on an introduction dedicated to the Byzantine art in Ravenna. Ravenna, as you know, is a city in central Italy, but then I will explain you exactly which city Ravenna is and where it is located. To give you a brief summary of our last episodes, in the episode number 10, I spoke about early Christian art, about the case of the sarcophagi. In the episode number 11, I spoke about the sarcophagus of Stilicho that is located in Milan in the famous Basilica of San Ambrogio. In this episode, I want to go on with our analysis of the early Christian art, and I will focus on the Byzantine art in Ravenna that, as you know, was the second center after Byzantium, and it is called by many historians and many art historians as the second Byzantium. Indeed, Ravenna is, and I wish that you can visit this marvelous city in the future. I will suggest you to visit first Ravenna, and then Venice, of course, and then Milan, and to take the train from Milan and to go to Rome to conclude your future visit in Rome, in our eternal city. And now let's start with our introduction dedicated to the Byzantine art in Ravenna. Ravenna is a city located in the Italian region of the Emilia-Romagna. If you are in front of a computer or if you have your smartphone with you or a tablet, and if you have the connection to internet, you can search for the Italian region Emilia-Romagna, and you will see that Ravenna is on the Adriatic Sea. Ravenna is in Emilia-Romagna in the position of the northeastern Italy, even if I can indicate central Italy, but the precise indication is in the northeastern Italy. The city of Ravenna is on a low-lying plain near the confluence of two rivers, the Ronco and the Montone, 6 miles, 10 kilometers inland from the Adriatic Sea, with which it is connected by a canal. Ravenna was important and covered a very important role in history as the capital of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century after Christ, and also later, starting from the 6th century until the 8th century, during the time of the Ostrogothic Italy and of the Byzantine Italy. In the ancient times, the Adriatic Sea lay nearer Ravenna, which rested on coastal lagoons that later silted up. The earliest inhabitants of Ravenna were probably Italic peoples who moved southward from Aquileia about, we think, 2,000 years before Christ. According to the tradition, this area was occupied also by the Etruscans, and the Etruscans came from Tuscany, and later by the Gauls. Ravenna came under the Roman control in 191 after Christ, and soon became important because it possessed one of the few good port sites on the northeastern coast of Italy. The Roman Emperor Augustus looked at this city, he loved this city, and he built the famous port in Ravenna, the port of Classis, Classe in Italian. The port of Classis is where today is located the famous Basilica of Saint Apollinare in Classis, but we will speak about it in the next minutes. The port of Classis is about 3 miles, is 5 kilometers from the city, and by the 1st century before Christ, Ravenna had become the basis for Rome's naval fleet in the Adriatic Sea. That's the reason why the port was called Classis, because in Latin the name fleet is Classis. In 402, in that year, the danger of barbarian invasions compelled the Western Roman Emperor Honorius to move his court from Rome to the great city of Ravenna. So Ravenna was henceforth the capital of the Western Roman Empire until its dissolution in 476. Because, as I explained to you, and as I love to explain to my students during our courses of the Sacred Art and of Dante, remember the famous year 476. This is the year of the death of the Roman Empire, 476 after Christ. As such, Ravenna was embellished with magnificent monuments and became a marvelous city. The city was also raised to the status of an archbishopric in 438. And with the fall of the empire in 476, but we can say also the fall of the Western Empire in 476, the city of Ravenna became the capital of the first barbarian ruler of Italy. That is the famous King Odoacer. King Odoacer reigned between 476 and 493. He, in turn, surrendered it to the Ostrogothic king Theodoric, and Theodoric reigned between 493 and 526. And the Ostrogothic king Theodoric, that started to have the power of Ravenna in 493, became someone very remembered in the history of Ravenna, because he made Ravenna the great capital of the Ostrogothic kingdom. But in 540, it happened that Ravenna was occupied by the great Byzantine general Belisarius, and subsequently Ravenna was made an imperial exarchate. So, as the capital of the so-called exarchate of Ravenna, the city of Ravenna was the administrative center of the Byzantine government in Italy. In the early 7th century, the area administered, including a diagonal strip of territory, an area, a strip, literally a strip of territory, extending from the area north of Ravenna to south of Rome, so the southern extremities of the peninsula, and various coastal enclaves. This exarchate, that was the only one in Italy, was broken up by revolts and invasions after the year 726. In the year 751, Ravenna itself fell to the Lombards, who in turn lost it to the Franks after only 3 years, in 754, under the leadership of the famous Pippin III the Short, the father of Charlemagne. Pippin III the Short gave Ravenna to the Pope in 757. So it happened that Ravenna was of property of the church of that time. The local archbishops, however, retained almost princely powers. Today, we can say that nothing remains of the ancient Roman structures in Ravenna or of its famous harbor at Classis that is close to Ravenna. The fame of Ravenna rests instead on the quality and on the quantity of its 5th century and 8th century Christian great and famous monuments. As the capital city of the Western Roman Empire for 250 years and a major port of entry for the Eastern Byzantine Empire, Ravenna reflects in its art and architecture a fusion of Roman architectural forms with Byzantine mosaics and other decoration. Ravenna today and for many years was called, and today is still called, the Second Byzantium. Today, Tuesday, the 31st of January, in this episode number 12, I am giving you a brief overview of the great and famous monuments in Ravenna. Then, during the next episodes of our radio program, I will explain them in more detail. Let me list now which are the monuments in the Byzantine Ravenna. Well, first of all, one of the earliest of Ravenna's extant monuments is the Mausoleum of Galla Placidia. The Mausoleum of Galla Placidia. You can watch the images of each monument in the section dedicated to the images, in the section that you can find in the website of our radio program, Discovering Sacred Christian Art. The Mausoleum of Galla Placidia was wanted in the 5th century after Christ by Galla Placidia, the sister of the Emperor Honorius, a woman of power, a woman who loved the art and architecture. Its building technique is purely Western, but if you observe its Latin cross layout with barrel vaults and a central dome has Eastern prototypes. The entire upper surface of the mausoleum's interior is covered with mosaics on a blue ground. Of the monuments dating from the rule of the Arian Ostrogothic King Theodoric, the most impressive is his famous and so-called Mausoleum of Theodoric. This two-storied structure is kept by a single slab limestone dome that is 36 feet. It's 11 meters in diameter. Then we have the famous and great Basilica of Sant'Apollinare Nuovo, Basilica of the New Sant'Apollinare, was also erected by Theodoric, this basilica. This basilica originally was an Arian cathedral, but became a Catholic church in 570. This church contains magnificent mosaics depicting the teachings, the miracles, the passion, and the resurrection of Christ. These are among the oldest such representations in existence and are of considerable scholarly and scientific interest. This church also has finely executed mosaics, the famous mosaics of Ravenna, depicting processions of male and female saints. Then we have the famous Church of San Vitale, the great masterpiece of Byzantine art in Ravenna. It was completed during the reign of the Emperor Justinian, who loved Ravenna. The church was begun by the Bishop Ecclesius under the Ostrogothic queen Amalasuntha, and this church was consecrated in the year 547. This church is octagonal, built of marble and capped by a lofty terracotta dome. It is one of the finest examples of Byzantine architecture and decoration in Western Europe. It is a famous masterpiece of architecture and art, and I strongly hope you can visit it. The celebrated mosaics in the church presbytery are strongly influenced by similar work at Constantinople. This is the reason why I recall the second name of Ravenna, the expression, the second Byzantium. They depict Old Testament and New Testament figures, as well as contemporary Byzantine rulers and Catholic ecclesiastics. But Ravenna's other surviving monuments include also the other famous Basilica of Sant Apollinare, that is the Basilica of Sant Apollinare in Classe, that is in the ancient classes. And why two basilicas are dedicated to Sant Apollinare? Because Sant Apollinare is the saint, the patron of the city of Ravenna. The Basilica of Sant Apollinare in Classe is in the port of Classes. I know very well this place because I passed all my summers of my childhood in this area. So imagine every single summer I visited with my family these marvelous monuments, and they are for me something very familiar. The Basilica of Sant Apollinare in Classe was begun in 535 and was consecrated in 549. It has a distinctive round campanile, and it was built in the late 9th century. That is the earliest example in Italy of the decorative use of the so-called maiolica. This church also has an impressive capitals in its nave and a fine apse mosaic depicting the Transfiguration of Christ. Then, the Church of St. Francis. The Church of St. Francis, that is a medieval building, has a small annex containing the tomb of the Italian poet Dante Alighieri, our great Dante. The Church of St. John the Evangelist was almost totally destroyed during the World War II and has since been heavily restored. The oldest church in Ravenna is the so-called, still surviving, is the so-called Cathedral of Ravenna, that was originally built at the end of the 4th century, but that was destroyed in the 1733 and immediately rebuilt. And adjoining the Cathedral of Ravenna is an octagonal baptistry containing fine Byzantine mosaics from the 5th century. At the end, Ravenna's National Museum of Antiquities, the famous Museum of Ravenna, housed in the cloisters of the Church of San Vitale, has an important collection of classical antiquities and of early Christian antiquities, including inscriptions, icons, ceramics, ivories, and other sculptures and sarcophagi. So, if we want to list the 8 early Christian monuments of Ravenna that are inscribed on the World Heritage List, these are: first, the Orthodox Baptistry, also called the Baptistry of Neon, then the Mausoleum of Galla Placidia, then the third, the Arian Baptistry, the fourth, the Archiepiscopal Chapel, the fifth, the Basilica of Sant Apollinare Nuovo, the sixth, Mausoleum of Theodoric, the seventh, the Basilica of San Vitale, the eighth, the Basilica of Sant Apollinare in Classis. And the other attractions include the Church of St. John the Evangelist, that is from the 5th century and was wanted again by Galla Placidia after she survived a storm at the sea. It was restored after the World War II bombings, and the bell tower contains 4 bells, the 2 majors dating back to the early medieval age. Then we have the 6th century Church of the Holy Spirit, which has been quite drastically altered since the 6th century. It was originally the Arian cathedral. The facade has a 16th century portico with 5 arcades. And then we have the St. Francis Basilica, related to Dante. Then we have the Baroque Church of Santa Maria Maggiore. Then we have the Church of St. John the Baptist in a Baroque style. And we have the Basilica of Santa Maria in Port. We have also the so-called Brancaleone Castle in Ravenna, but it was built by the Venetians in the 15th century. We have also the so-called Palace of Theodoric, that is the entrance to the former church of San Salvatore, and it includes mosaics from the true palace of the Ostrogothic king Theodoric. Then we have the famous Church of St. Euphemia, the National Museum, and the Archiepiscopal Museum. My dear listeners, I hope that you enjoyed this introduction to the world of the art of Ravenna, to the world of the Byzantine art in Ravenna. We will go on with this path, with this artistic path, discovering the sacred Christian art in Ravenna, starting again from the episode number 13. Now, my dear listeners, let me say hello, and I wish you a great day, and I hope you can listen also the next episode number 13. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed the program and will join us back for another show on WCAT Radio. This is Sebastian Mahfood. Good day.